if you were to be given a superpower, which one would you choose? To answer this, I'll go to the past and apply the knowledge I have today. Why would I? It was a normal school day. You could hear so many children playing around. Others were screaming joyfully. It was break time at 10 a.m. 3 students had stayed in class. A girl who used to be so sick most of the times, I don't remember her name. Trésor, who was a big boy who had repeated class like 3 times. He was really struggling. And the 9-year girl who was thin and brown. That girl was me. That day, I was wearing a big uniform as my mom believed I will grow in it. I was explaining math in front as my teacher had requested me to support my colleagues who were struggling. If you could ask me that time, to be honest, I didn't believe I was that smart. I associated me performing well in class with my mom, who frequently visited me at school. Everyone in the school knew her. You could hear on a random day someone saying, Mama Lily is here. But actually, she's even here today. And I kept on performing well. It reached a point even when I was in high school. In our school, on the last day of the term, we could all gather in a hall and the teachers would do performance like proclamation, class by class. It was terrible. Everyone in the school knew your performance. For me, it wasn't a big problem because I'll be the first, if very terrible, the second. But still, I considered myself not that special. But my self-limiting belief started to affect me in my adulthood, professionally, even socially. I remember at my first job, right after high school, my boss was so impressed. She would compliment me to everyone who would come to our office. She had even said she wanted to get me a scholarship in the US. She once even drove me to register for TOEFL test, an English exam that was required for me to get an admission in the US. But in my mind, I was busy saying, I'm not qualified to go to the US. And that's how I lost that opportunity. Then, even on my wedding day, I doubted myself. Like any other bride, I knew what I wanted. I knew the dress, the hairstyle, everything. I was so prepared. I had even a website with our love story and beautiful pictures. But a few months before the wedding, I started wondering, who do I think I am? A wedding planner? And that's how I was not able to communicate all my needs. And everyone in the family had to come in and do the wedding their own way. So on the actual day, I was busy comparing. The dance could have been longer. This could have been more fun. I was busy comparing. That was sad, isn't it? Fast forward, a few years later, I'm having a coffee chat with a friend that I respect so much, and she started asking me questions regarding my professional growth. And she told me, Lily, you have so much potential that you're not using. You're smarter than the way you believe to. That was an aha moment for me. I started reflecting on why and how. And then actually I realized that all this time, I thought I was being humble. I was told to be humble, but to me, I misinterpreted it. I thought being humble was to make myself smaller and to shrink myself. And that affected me in so many ways. And she told me that that thing had a name. It is imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is a psychological condition that is characterized by self-doubt. You doubt your skills, you doubt your talents, you doubt even your achievements. But to me, I describe it as a tumor in your brain that prevents you from seeing who you really are and who you can potentially become. Do you ever feel like you're not good enough? Do you sometimes have been given a project and you're like, I don't think I can do this. Maybe there is someone who could do this better. Maybe there is a better fit. Or have you been in a room like this, you look around, you see everyone is in suits, they look smart, they look like they are knowledgeable, and you start to be like, I don't belong in this room. My friends, that is imposter syndrome. There is an article I read at Forbes that says 1 in 3 employees, they experience imposter syndrome. What is sad isn't the number of people suffering from imposter syndrome, but the opportunities those people are missing out and the impact they're not making. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand if you've ever experienced imposter syndrome, but I want you to know that you are not alone. Even the most successful, talented people in the history have faced it. And I am here today to help you know that there is that imposter syndrome and we can fight it. For us to understand the impact this imposter syndrome can have on us, let's imagine a room filled with so many people that is so dark. And in that big room, only one person knows where the switch is. And unless that person can have the courage to switch on the light, that room will remain in darkness. But that person is sitting in a corner asking herself, how can I be the only one in this 1 million plus people to know where the switch is? You are carrying a light. And unless you can use that light, the world and you yourself will remain in darkness. Maybe it's your writing skills. Maybe it's your resilience. Maybe it's how organized you are. It has no structure. There is a uniqueness you bring on the table. And I want you to know that you can use it. There are 3 things we can do to fight this imposter syndrome. The first one, authentic self-awareness. Authentic self-awareness. Let's be practical here. I have 2 arms. You can all see, and I'm grateful that I have them. But actually, I can't touch my back with both of them. This one touches well my back, but this one doesn't. So I consider my strengths of this right arm and my weaknesses at this one. So to fight the imposter syndrome, you have to see yourself in this perspective of all the things you are capable of. Because with imposter syndrome, you intend to see yourself in all the things you cannot do well. And then practice self-listening, Listen to all those things happening in your head. The negative thoughts, mute them. Tell them that you can do this. The second one, choose wisely who you surround yourself with. People who can lift you up and help you to maximize this perspective of your strength. Those people who can help you fulfill your potential. In life, we meet so many different people, but choose wisely. Choose who you surround yourself with. 3, choose practice over perfect. There's so many people here who are waiting to be perfect enough. That time will never come. Practice. Allow yourself to crawl like a baby. Walk slowly till you can walk firmly. There is a saying that says, opportunities dance with people on the dance floor. Challenge yourself to be on the dance floor. Imagine if you can dance when you're only good at dancing. When will you dance? Ladies and gentlemen, as at the beginning of my story, I told you that I want to go back in time, but it's not possible. I would like to go and talk to that Lily who is explaining math in front and tell her that she is amazing and she's killing it, but I can't go back in time. So what I'm doing now, I am doing it for my 2 kids. They are still small, but I tell them that it's so amazing. I know it empowers them. And on top of that, I am doing it with thousands and thousands of people through an organization I work for that builds the confidence of women and girls so that they can fulfill their potential. If you could leave this room with only one thing, know that you are capable, and go home and shine in your power. Thank you.